Hello and welcome to Abracadabra, my podcast about everything that I'm passionate about. Today's episode is very special because it's about me. It's about me talking about my book. Yay! I am extremely delighted to announce that my next book, The Incredible Mr. Sweets, the coming of age story of an ex-con who finds his calling in life through music, will be coming out on 4th of July 2021. The paperback of the book will be available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. In India, the paperback will be exclusively distributed by the Suman publication. Ebook will be available on Amazon Kindle, Barnes and Noble Nook, Kobo, and Apple Books worldwide. I wanted to really talk about the idea behind this book, and this is for the first time I'm doing a virtual launch. The Incredible Mr. Sweets was supposed to be a very short story, a short story of about only 4,000 words, and it was part of an anthology which I was about to launch in the month of January. But as it happened, one of the beta readers actually suggested that this book, this story, The Incredible Mr. Sweets, back then it was called The Gangsta Grooves, has got a real huge potential. And why don't you develop the story further? And as I started developing, I actually, by the time I got the second beta reading done for the story, it was already 28,000 words. And now it's about 33,000 words, the final book. It's a short read, but it's an engaging story. I felt that it was an engaging story, and that's how I developed it into a full-time story. And going back further, how did I get the idea for this article? I mean, it was supposed to be an article for the anthology. I was about to post it on Medium. The lockdown, because of COVID-19, sort of gave me the idea for this book. And, that got me thinking about the psychology of a prisoner who's been incarcerated for a long time. And not that the effects of lockdown are similar to the one which a prisoner might, experience while he's in prison for a long time. But that got me thinking. And, COVID-19 is a necessary step to prevent the spread of COVID-19. And that got me thinking. And that's how the idea of Incredible Mr. Sweets, was born. That's how the short story was created, and finally it's now a book. He goes through a variety of emotions while he's actually in a prison, and he's being released after 34 years. That's again an amazing thing. Most prisoners of his age, he's now in his mid-70s, most prisoners would think about retiring once they go out because they are old. But then not Mr. Sweets. He is essentially coming out with a burden. He's gone through major ups and downs in life, because of which he became a criminal, and now he's coming out of the prison. He's essentially not looking for a second chance. He's actually making a comeback. He's a tough nut to crack, and he spent the 34 years in the prison with guilt, stress of being incarcerated, and music was something that helped him rejuvenate, get over the stress in the prison. Hence the name Mr. Sweets, a name that became infamous when he was out as a criminal. And now he's making a comeback again as Mr. Sweets in a different format, of course, not as a criminal, but as a singer, as a musician. This is his story. So during the course of developing this story into a full book, I came across a lot of articles, a lot of research about the sort of psychology of a prisoner who comes out after a long time, and it's really difficult. Majority of them, they try and hide from the public when they are out, from even their family. They are scared of meeting their family, probably because of fear of being rejected. So they tend to isolate themselves, and that leads to stress. There are a lot of resources available for the prisoners here in Canada. They can see a state-sponsored psychologist. They can go through a lot of resources to deal with that stress. But remember that isolation is actually is very painful. Seeing your family, not being able to see. Mr. Sweets also goes through the same emotions. after coming out, he's scared of meeting his family, the remaining family. He's been there for 34 years. A lot is lost during that time. And that is how the story develops. And that is how I thought, I will develop my story. I've kept it very simple, no complications. It's just Mr. Sweets, the central character's journey from being a prisoner, from being an ex-convict to a musician, to a singing superstar. That's what Incredible Mr. Sweets is about. It's the coming of age story of an ex-con who finds his calling in life through music. But remember that second chances are quite rare. Not everyone is as lucky as Mr. Sweets. Make the most of what you have. Readers might wonder, reading the story, does everyone deserve a second chance? And my answer is yes. And we all can debate that whether a person with a horrible past too deserves a second chance or not. But my answer will always remain yes, and a resounding yes. Because I believe in absolution, and everyone deserves a second chance. That's what I believe. So what exactly is Mr. Sweets about? It's a short and simple story about loving what you do. It's about making the right choices. It's about doing things right. It's about not giving up. It's about putting your past behind. It's about loving your heritage. Mr. Sweets is in all of us. We've all made mistakes in our lives. We all sort of let our past define our future. And some of us are even living in our past. Mr. Sweets is about, putting the past behind and moving forward in the right direction, not making the same mistakes again and again. And I'm sure you will love this short and simple read. Thank you so much for listening to me. Like I said, I'm doing YouTube Live for the first time, and it started with a hiccup, but I hope the book will be launched smoothly the 4th of July. As of today, it's available in both paperback and ebook format across the world. Grab your copies now, guys. Thank you so much for logging in with me. I'll be back with another episode shortly. Till that time, have a great day and take care.